That soft white roll in your bathroom, it could be silently poisoning you, the trusted brand you've used for years, loaded with cancer-linked chemicals. Today, we reveal 7 popular toilet paper brands spreading toxins on the most sensitive part of your body, and why your family is at risk. Let's start with America's favorite. Charmin Ultra Soft sits in millions of bathrooms across the country. It's the brand your grandmother probably used, the one with those adorable bear commercials. But here's what those bears aren't telling you. Independent laboratory testing found that Charmin Ultra Soft contains organic fluorine at 13 parts per million. Now, you might think that doesn't sound like much, but organic fluorine is a marker for PFAS, those infamous forever chemicals. These substances earned their nickname because they literally never break down, not in your body, not in the environment, not ever. Think about that for a second. Every time you use Charmin, you're potentially exposing yourself to chemicals that will outlive you, your children, and your grandchildren. Scientists have linked PFAS exposure to decreased fertility, hypertension during pregnancy, certain cancers, developmental delays in kids, hormonal disruptions, and weakened immune systems. One researcher put it bluntly: these chemicals affect males and females at every organ and every life stage. And here's the kicker: you're putting this on one of the most absorbent areas of your body. The skin around your intimate areas is highly vascular, meaning chemicals can enter your bloodstream faster there than almost anywhere else on your body. Women are particularly vulnerable because of the delicate nature of vulvar tissue. Charmin's parent company, Procter & Gamble, has built an empire on softness. But at what cost? The company continues to use traditional manufacturing processes that introduce these chemicals, either through the pulping process or through contaminated recycled materials. They prioritize that cushiony feel over your health. Here's where it gets really disturbing. You'd think a brand called 7th Generation with 100% recycled plastered on the package would be the safe choice, right? Wrong. This brand tested positive for organic fluorine at 35 parts per million. That's nearly triple what Charmin contained. This was the highest level reported in the Mama Vaschen study. Let that sink in. The brand marketing itself as eco-friendly and sustainable is actually one of the worst offenders. How does this happen? The answer lies in what recycled paper really means. When companies recycle paper products, they're not just recycling clean paper. They're recycling everything. Receipts coated with BPA, shipping labels, food packaging, all of it. These materials can contain PFAS and other industrial chemicals from their first life. When they get pulped and turned into your toilet paper, those chemicals come along for the ride. But wait, there's more. The recycling process itself can introduce additional contaminants. Many recycled toilet papers contain trace amounts of bisphenol A or BPA, a hormone-disrupting chemical linked to reproductive problems, neurological issues, immune system effects, and cardiovascular problems. 7th Generation has built its entire brand identity around being environmentally conscious and health-focused. Parents trust this brand. People with sensitivities specifically seek it out, yet they're potentially exposing themselves to higher levels of forever chemicals than if they just bought conventional toilet paper. The betrayal here runs deep. When you're trying to make better choices for your family and the planet, and the green option turns out to be more toxic than the standard one, where does that leave you? Bamboo toilet paper has exploded in popularity. It's marketed as the sustainable, chemical-free alternative. Companies like Tushy have made fortunes promising you a cleaner, greener wipe, but testing revealed that Tushy bamboo toilet paper contains detectable levels of PFAS. This one hits differently because bamboo was supposed to be the answer. Bamboo grows rapidly without pesticides or fertilizers. It doesn't require the massive deforestation associated with traditional toilet paper. It regenerates quickly after harvesting. On paper, pun intended, it's perfect. So what went wrong? The issue isn't the bamboo itself, it's what happens to that bamboo during manufacturing. To transform bamboo stalks into soft white toilet paper requires extensive processing. That processing involves chemicals, water treatment, and often contaminated equipment or facilities that also handle other types of paper products. Even when bamboo is grown organically and sustainably, if it's processed in a facility that also handles conventional paper or uses water systems contaminated with PFAS, the final product becomes contaminated. It's like eating organic vegetables washed in polluted water. The source material doesn't matter if the process is tainted. University of Florida researchers found that PFAS in toilet paper likely enters through the manufacturing process rather than being intentionally added. But does that distinction matter when you're still exposing yourself to harmful chemicals? The result is the same whether it's accidental or deliberate. Tushy's entire marketing strategy revolves around being the clean alternative. They sell bidets and position themselves as the answer to toxic traditional toilet paper, yet their own product contains the very chemicals they warn consumers about. It's not just disappointing, it's dangerous because people think they're making a safe choice when they're not. Before we continue, if this information is making you rethink what's in your bathroom, hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to know the truth about what they're putting on their body. Drop a comment telling me which brand you currently use. We want to know if you're shocked by what you're learning. And subscribe because we're not done exposing everyday products that are quietly harming your health. Who Gives a Crap has one of the most clever names in the toilet paper industry. They donate half their profits to building toilets in developing countries. They use 100% recycled paper or bamboo. They ship in plastic-free packaging with quirky designs. Everything about this brand screams, "We're the good guys." But laboratory testing found organic fluorine in Who Gives a Crap bamboo toilet paper, another bamboo brand, another PFAS detection. The pattern is becoming clear. This company has positioned itself as the antithesis of big toilet paper corporations. They're a certified B Corporation, meaning they've committed to high social and environmental standards. Their website talks extensively about sustainability, health, and making a positive impact. Yet here we are, finding the same forever chemicals in their product that we find in conventional brands. What makes this particularly troubling is the premium price point Who Gives a Crap costs significantly more than standard toilet paper. Consumers are paying extra, believing they're investing in their health and the environment. They're making a conscious choice, sacrificing convenience and cost for what they believe is a safer product. But they're not getting what they're paying for. They're getting contaminated paper wrapped in pretty packaging with feel-good marketing. The company's commitment to transparency apparently doesn't extend to disclosing the presence of forever chemicals in their products. These brands prove an unsettling truth. In the current toilet paper market, you cannot trust labels. You cannot trust marketing. You cannot even trust certifications and third-party endorsements. The contamination is so widespread that even companies trying to do better are failing. Walk into any Costco and you'll see massive packages of Kirkland Signature toilet paper stacked high. It's a staple of bulk shopping. Families buy it by the pallet because it's economical, decent quality, and from a store they trust. While Kirkland tested negative for PFAS in recent studies, which is genuinely good news, we need to talk about the other chemicals hiding in conventional toilet paper that don't make headlines but still cause serious problems. The chlorine bleaching process used in most conventional toilet papers, including many Kirkland products, creates toxic byproducts called dioxins and furans. These are among the most toxic chemicals known to science. We're talking about substances so dangerous that the International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies them as Group 1, carcinogens. Dioxins are linked to reproductive and developmental problems, immune system damage, hormone disruption, and cancer. They accumulate in your body over time because your system cannot effectively eliminate them. Each use adds to your toxic burden. But chlorine isn't the only problem. Many toilet papers contain formaldehyde to increase wet strength, so the paper doesn't fall apart when it gets moist. Formaldehyde is also a known carcinogen. A 2010 study found that toilet paper could be responsible for chronic vulvar irritation in women specifically because of its formaldehyde content. Then there are the fragrances. Scented toilet papers and even some unscented ones processed with fragrance chemicals contain undisclosed ingredients. Manufacturers aren't required to list the individual components of fragrance on the label. Hidden in that vague term are often synthetic musks and phthalates. Phthalates are endocrine disruptors linked to obesity, hyperactivity in children, and reduced sperm quality. They're particularly concerning for pregnant women and young children, yet they're in products we use multiple times every single day. When you buy that giant Costco pack, you're committing to months of exposure to these chemicals. The supposed savings become a health cost you'll pay later. Angel Soft is everywhere. It's in gas station bathrooms, budget-friendly households, and college dorms across America. The brand name itself evokes something gentle and pure. The marketing emphasizes softness and value. It's designed to be the accessible choice for families watching their budget. Testing showed that Angel Soft had non-detectable levels of organic fluorine, which initially sounds positive, but here's what the PFAS-free status doesn't tell you. Angel Soft is manufactured by Georgia-Pacific, one of the big three tissue producers that relies almost exclusively on virgin forest fiber. This means ancient trees from ecologically critical forests are being cut down to make cheap toilet paper. The carbon footprint is 3 times higher than recycled alternatives. The manufacturing process still involves harsh bleaching chemicals, formaldehyde, and all the other standard toxins we've been discussing. Moreover, consumer testing has shown that Angel Soft is one of the weakest toilet papers on the market. It tears easily, requires more sheets per use, and leaves behind lint. So you're not even getting quality for your money. You're getting a substandard product that's still made with harmful chemicals and destructive sourcing practices. The real issue with Angel Soft isn't what it contains, it's what it represents. It's the normalization of accepting less for the most intimate products we use. It's the idea that toilet paper should be an afterthought, a commodity purchased based solely on price. Your body deserves better than the cheapest possible option, especially for something you use on your most sensitive areas multiple times per day, every single day, for your entire life. Quilted Northern positions itself as premium toilet paper. The ultra plush variety is triple ply, soft, and luxurious. It's the toilet paper you buy when you want to treat yourself. The commercials emphasize comfort and quality. And to its credit, Quilted Northern Ultra Plush tested negative for organic fluorine. It's also made with FSC certified fiber, meaning the trees came from responsibly managed forests. On the surface, this seems like one of the better options, but here's the catch. Just because something is FSC certified doesn't mean it should be made from trees at all. Environmental advocates point out that there's no reason toilet paper should require cutting down any trees, whether they're from managed forests or not. We have alternatives, recycled paper, bamboo, sugarcane, that don't require forest harvesting. Furthermore, Quilted Northern is manufactured by Georgia-Pacific, the same company behind Angel Soft. While they offer different product tiers, the core manufacturing processes remain similar across their line. That means the same chlorine bleaching, the same formaldehyde treatment, the same fragrance chemicals. The luxury of Quilted Northern is still built on a foundation of chemicals and practices that pose health risks. The fact that it feels nicer doesn't change what's in it or how it was made. Consumer Reports also noted that Quilted Northern is one of the lintiest toilet papers tested. That lint isn't just annoying, it's evidence of fiber breakdown and chemical processing. Every particle of lint left behind is a particle of chemically treated paper staying on your skin. The premium price tag makes people believe they're buying a safer, better product. But luxury in toilet paper doesn't equal non-toxic. It just means you're paying more for a slightly softer version of the same problematic product. So where does this leave us? 7 brands, spanning budget to premium and conventional to supposedly eco-friendly, all have significant issues. Some contain forever chemicals that never break down in the body or environment. Others rely on manufacturing processes that produce toxic byproducts. Many do both. The fundamental problem is regulation, or the lack of it. The toilet paper industry is largely unregulated when it comes to chemical safety. Manufacturers aren't required to test for PFAS. They aren't required to disclose all chemicals used in processing. They aren't held accountable for contamination that occurs during production. The FDA doesn't treat toilet paper the way it treats food or drugs. The EPA sets standards for wastewater, but not for the products causing the contamination in the first place. This regulatory gap lets the industry operate as usual while consumers remain in the dark about what they're actually buying. The problem doesn't stop at personal health. Every flush sends these chemicals into the wastewater system. Studies show toilet paper can contribute up to 89% of certain PFAS compounds in sewage in some countries. The contaminated wastewater is treated and released into rivers and oceans, or the sludge is used as fertilizer, introducing forever chemicals into our food supply. We're creating a cycle of contamination that touches everyone, not just toilet paper users. The choices we make in the bathroom ripple outward, affecting entire ecosystems. But this isn't about fear or perfection, it's about awareness. You can't eliminate every risk in modern life, but you can reduce unnecessary exposures, especially to chemicals linked to serious health problems. If this video opened your eyes, share it, especially with friends and family. Hit like to warn others about what's really in their toilet paper, and comment which brand shocked you most: Charmin, Bamboo Alternatives, or the so-called eco-friendly options. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the hidden toxins in everyday products, and watch the next video to discover which household staples are quietly harming your health. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and protect your behind.